Chocobo and Moogle is the remake version of the Final Fantasy VII summon, Choco and Mok. These two iconic mascots, along with those I have grouped up in this section, have become staple of the series, each with fascinating and cute origin. The name Chocobo itself is inspired by a Japanese snack called Chocobo, made by Morinaga. The mascot for Chocobo is Kyoroshan, a bird that makes a sound similar to Kwe, which is the same sound Chocobo make in the games. Moogle design have evolved over time, but they are typically depicted as a small creature with white or pink fur, bat-like wings, and a pom-pom antenna. In Japanese, Moogle are called Muguri, a combination of the word mole, Mugura, and bat, Komori. The Moogle Trio is a group of Moogles dressed in a classic Final Fantasy garb. A bard who appear to be the leader, a black mage, and a white mage. Their ultimate attack, Choocbo Walls, deal significant non-elemental magic damage to enemies while also boosting the party's synergy by 2 levels. The term walls in their attack is French for waltz, a type of dance with 3 beats per measure, perfectly matching the trio composition. As for their identity, it seems that these 3 Moogle aren't explicitly named. While there are recurring Moogle characters in the series, such as Mok, Steelkins, Artemisians, and Malblanc, there's no direct indication that the Moogle Trio is connected to them. The fat Chocobo is a Chocobo that is very fat, and in some version of the games, he is even portrayed as the leader of the Chocobos. In the earlier Final Fantasy titles, before it became known as a summon, the fat Chocobo served more practical purpose. It helped players by carrying extra items when their inventory was full. The Chocobo Chick is a young Chocobo with a large head and fluffy yellow feather. Its feather, especially on its head, resemble Cloud's iconic spiky hairstyle. This might be a nod to the original Final Fantasy VII where Tifa joked that Cloud looked like a Chocobo. The Chocobo Chick ultimate attack is called Choco Flare, a powerful non-elemental move that deals damage and stagger all enemies. Shiva is the ice elemental summon, often depicted as a blue-skinned woman with a serene yet commanding presence. However, the origin of the name Shiva comes from the male Hindu god of destruction and renewal. In Hindu mythology, Shiva's iconic blue skin was not originally part of his depiction. It turned blue after he consumed the deadly poison Hala Hala to save the universe during the churning of the cosmic ocean. The connection between Shiva, the ice element, and the feminine depiction in Final Fantasy is less direct but still intriguing. One possible link is through Shiva's consort, Parvati, whose name means daughter of the mountain. Parvati is closely associated with the Himalayas, a mountain range synonymous with snow and ice, which might have inspired the icy aspect of Shiva in the series. Another influence could be the Japanese yokai, Yuki Onna. This mythical figure is a beautiful female spirit of winter, often tied to snow and ice. She's known for appearing during harsh winter, luring travelers to their doom with her chilling allure. Ifrit is a beast-like fire element summon known for his ferocious power and fiery attack. His signature move, Hellfire, sometimes referred to as Inferno or Flame of Hell, deal devastating fire damage to enemies. Alongside Shiva, the ice element summon, Ifrit is one of the most frequently appearing and iconic summons in the Final Fantasy series. In Arabian mythology, Ifrit refers to a class of jinn associated with fire. The Hellfire attack also drawn parallel to the concept of fire in Islamic thought, particularly the role of Satan, a rebellious jinn in the Qurans. Satan refused to bow to humanity, believing himself to be superior because he was created from fire. Ramuh is a summon associated with lightning and thunder. He is typically portrayed as an elderly man wielding a long staff, embodying wisdom and power. His signature attack, Judgment Bolt, unleashes devastating lightning damage on enemies. The etymology of Ramuh names appear to draw from various mythical sources. One possibility is the connection of Ramuh, the 7th avatar of the Hindu god Vishnu. Additionally, in some version of Final Fantasy, Ramuh is referred to as Indra, the king of Devas in Hindu mythology, who is closely associated with the sky and the thunderstorm. The Ram in Ramuh name could also be tied to the Hebrew word for thunder. The magic pot is an imp-like creature that hides inside a pot and is a recurring enemy in the Final Fantasy series. It's also known as Magic Urn or occasionally the Magic Pot with the K. This tricky little foe is typically immune to both magical and physical attacks, making it nearly impossible to defeat through conventional means. Often the key to beating it lies in giving it an elixir first. because of this unique challenge, defeating a magic pot usually rewards player with massive amount of experience, guild, or items. Leviathan made its first debut in Final Fantasy II as a monster that swallowed the party. Since then, it has become a recurring summon in the series, often representing the element of water. Its trademark attack, Tidal Wave, unleashes a massive surge of water that deals heavy damage to all enemies. In Jewish mythology, Leviathan is described as a colossal sea monster or serpent created on the 5th day of creation. In the real world, during the golden age of seafaring, Leviathan became a term used to describe any enormous sea creature, including whales. In fact, a prehistoric whale was even named after it. Leviathan design and its power bear a strong resemblance to Ryujin, a dragon-like sea deity from Japanese mythology. Ryujin is said to control the tides and rule over the ocean, making it fitting parallel to Leviathan's role as a water-based summon. Titan is an earth element giant who appears as both a fearsome enemy and a summon. His ultimate attack, Earthen Fury, unleashes massive non-elemental damage, showcasing his immense strength. Titan's name and concept are inspired by Greek mythology, where the Titans were the first generation of divine being born from the primordial gods, Uranus, the sky, and Gaia, the earth. These powerful deities ruled during the early days but were ultimately overthrown by the Olympian gods. Among the most famous Titans is Prometheus, who defied the Olympians by stealing fire and gifting it to humanities. Another is Atlas, who was condemned to bear the weight of heavens on his shoulder for eternity. Cactuar is a quirky cactus creature known for its recurring appearance in the Final Fantasy series. This mascot-like character attacks enemies by shooting needles that deal fixed damage while applying debuff. In Japanese, Cactuar is called Sap Portender, a clever mix of the Japanese word for cactus and the English word pretender. Lastly, Cactuar's strange but unforgettable face is slightly inspired by ancient Japanese clay figure known as Haniwa. The Phoenix is a legendary firebird known for its dual powers of destruction and renewal. Its ultimate attack, Rebirth Fire, deals significant fire magic damage to enemy while simultaneously healing and reviving the party. This mythical creature appears in various cultures worldwide, often under different names. For example, in Asia, it is known by names such as Fenghua and Ho-Oh. In Greek mythology, the Phoenix is closely tied to the sun and the god Apollo. It is famously known for its ability to obtain new life from rising from the ashes of its predecessor, making it a symbol of hope and resilience. However, the Egyptian Bennu is considered to be the earliest known version of this legendary bird. Alexander is a colossal robot often depicted as a fortress. Its signature move, Divine Judgment, unleashed a devastating non-elemental magic attack capable of obliterating enemies with its sheer power. The name Alexander has its root in the Greek name Alexandros, meaning protector of mankind. It's also famously associated with Alexander the Great, the ancient king of Macedon, who built one of the largest empires in history, stretching from Greece all the way to the northwestern India. The legend of Alexander extends beyond his empire. Stories speak of the Gates of Alexander, or the Caspian Gate, a mythical barrier said to have been constructed by Alexander the Great. This gate was often imagined as a massive fortification, separating the civilized world from the uncivilized. Carbuncle is often depicted as a fox-like being with a glowing red gem emblem in its forehead. In Final Fantasy VII, it's played a support role, buffing the party with useful status. Its ultimate move, Diamond Dazzle, restores the party HP and revive any fallen members. The origins of the Carbuncles are said to be a mythical creature in South American folklore, specifically in Paraguay. Its appearance varies depending on the story. Some describe it as a small bird, while others say it looked like a mammal. But despite what it looked like, the animal is said to have a glowing red mirror-like stone on its forehead that shines like burning coal. That said, catching a Carbuncle was considered to be a sign of immense good fortune. Odin is a legendary knight on a horse who wields both a sword and a lance. He is inspired by the Norse god of the same name, and his lance, Gungnir, comes straight from the mythology. In Norse lore, Gungnir is said to never miss its target when thrown and is completely indestructible. In the Final Fantasy series, Odin's ultimate attack is called Santesikin, which roughly translated to Iron Cutting Sword. It delivers massive non-elemental damage, often wiping out enemies in a single strike. In Final Fantasy VII, Odin is depicted with one eye as a nod to the myth where Odin sacrificed his left eyes to drink from the well of wisdom to gain knowledge of past, present, and future. Odin's horse, Sleipnir, is another direct reference to Norse mythology. While some versions of the game show it as a regular four-legged horse, Final Fantasy VII Remake portrays Sleipnir with its proper 8 legs, just like in the myth. Sleipnir is considered one of the strongest horses in Norse legend, and is actually the child of Loki and the Stalion Svaltheri. Yeah, I'm not even gonna get into that one, but maybe someone will explain it in the comments. Bahamut is a grey humanoid dragon with a long neck and tail, massive wings, and scales that glow with a purple light. Its origins trace back to ancient pre-Islamic Arabian mythology, where it was first depicted as an enormous whale. On its back stands a bull named Kujata, which boasts an astonishing 4,000 eyes, ears, noses, mouth, tongue, and feet. The space between each is said to span a 500 years journey. Kujata supports a massive ruby mountain, on top of which an angel carries 6 hell, the earth, and 7 heaven on its shoulders. In another version of the myth, Bahamut itself is a dragon standing atop of a whale named Lewash. This story reflects Bahamut's immense and otherworldly nature, and it starts to make me think that a 10-year-old come up with it. The Arisen version of Bahamut, commonly known as Neo Bahamut, is a more powerful red variation. In the Japanese version, this form is called Bahamut Kai, Kai meaning improved, emphasizing its enhanced power. Gilgamesh is a dimension-hopping warrior with a passion of collecting weapons, making him one of the most iconic recurring characters in Final Fantasy. Unlike Seth, who appear in different forms but is essentially a new character each time, Gilgamesh is generally portrayed as the same character across his appearance, with a few exceptions. His name originates from the Epic of Gilgamesh, an ancient Akkadian poem where Gilgamesh is a demigod with immense strength. Moreover, the Final Fantasy version of Gilgamesh is also inspired by Benkai, a legendary Japanese warrior monk from Genpei War period. Benkai was said to have defeated over 200 men in battle and possesses superhuman strength. Similar to Gilgamesh, Benkai set out on a quest to collect 1,000 swords by challenging and defeating samurai warrior in Kyoto. He believed these warriors were arrogant and didn't deserve their weapons. Over the course of his journey, Benkai successfully collected 999 swords. However, when he was fighting for the final one, he was defeated for the first time by Minamoto no Yoshitsune, a legendary figure in Japanese history. After his loss, Benkai pledged his loyalty to Yoshitsune, becoming his devoted retainer. This is kinda like how Gilgamesh often joins your party in Final Fantasy after you defeat him.